Today on the channel, we're ready for a fight with the supreme fighting machine, Kama. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mattel Elite unboxing. And today we've got from the Elite 85 lineup, the Target Collector's exclusive, at least for now, Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine. We all remember Kama, don't we? Yeah, maybe not. This was kind of in my dying days of wrestling. If it wasn't for ECW shortly around this time, I don't know if I'd still be in the wrestling game. I remember Kama coming out, and I remember being like, oh, okay. And I remember looking, I was like, gosh, those tattoos look familiar. Took me a little bit, but I figured out, hey, this is actually Papa Shango. And Charles Wright, no stranger to the Elite lineup, as we've gotten Papa Shango, we've gotten the Godfather. We'll bring those out a little later. Now we're getting Kama. Now we just need a Kama Mustafa for the Nation of Domination. That's our most wanted at this point. Hopefully we get that one fairly soon. But like I said, we'll compare it to the Godfather and Papa Shango later on in the video. But we're going to do it like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging, talk about it, unbox it, talk about it, see where it goes from there. So, like I said, Elite 85 Collector's Edition exclusive to Target at this point. Sometimes some of these cases find their way into the Walmart stores. Sometimes the Ringside Collectibles of the world, discount code Kyle, 10%, you guys know that. They find their way there, but Target's going to be the place to look for this one. So there it is, Kama, down at the bottom. Very simple, very plain, Kama. Elite logo right there. You got Kama. Look at that glamour shot. Kind of looking like a mix of Chemo from the UFC mixed with a little bit of Mr. T. And man, you got Kama. That's exactly what it is. You got the True Effects right there. You got the figure itself. You got Certified Authentic. We always got to have that. There's that Collector's Edition logo, kind of a throwback Legends logo they have up in the corner there, Collector's Edition, then the WWE logo. We got the blue background. We got some extra hands. We got some chains, like a young Mr. T, like I was talking about. On the side there he is in the ring. Looking mean, ready to take on The Undertaker. And you got the glamour shot on the side right there. And the back. There's the back of the package. Kama. We got a little blurb. We'll read that. We got a picture of him there. The Elite logo at the very top. Nothing at the bottom because it's technically not a part of a set. It's technically a standalone, even though it ships with Elite 85. They're not promoting anything else. It'll be interesting how well this one does. Rocky Johnson sat for a very long time in my stores. Billie Kay, the Iconics, those sat for a long time. Mae Young, I can find her at many a Walmart right now. Same with even Michael P.S. Hayes. So how will Kama do? It'll be really interesting to see how this one, if this one's fairly easy to get. Even the British Bulldog was fairly easy to get for a while. But like most Elite figures and a lot of figures these days, they're on the pegs for about a 2-3 week window, or not at all, depending on your store, and then they're gone forever, and then they start raising in price. That's the way it goes. But Kama's an interesting one, and I appreciate deep cuts. Characters we didn't get a Jax figure of, first Mattel figure of. This is really good. I like this in the collector's line. I think this works very well. I don't know if it would have warranted in the Target Legends line. I guess technically it could be. Technically he is a Hall of Famer. But I don't know. Chemo. I will say Chemo. We'll talk about Chemo. But Kama didn't really resonate with me a whole lot. We know his chains here. I believe the story goes, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but the actual chains on these Mattel figures are melted down toy urns from Undertaker figures. They wanted to keep it as realistic as possible because we know the Undertaker's urn got melted down to make this chain. And they did the same thing with toys. Undertaker's toy urns got melted down to make this toy chain. I heard that. But somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But Kama, kind of based after the Chemo character. If you guys are longtime UFC fans like me, I absolutely loved UFC. UFC 1, I was all over it. All the way up till 2000. We're here once again. I can't remember years anymore. 2000, gosh, I don't even know. 2008? 2008? That was the glory years for me. I watched pretty religiously. I watched every show until they started having shows on a weekly basis. It got too much for me. It got too hard to follow the product. And I do miss a little bit of the old school UFC. I miss it a whole lot, actually, where it was different fighting styles. Now everybody's pretty much a hybrid. Everybody's kind of the same thing. But I used to love it when there was like, you know, this guy's more wrestling based. And they still have some of that, but it's just not quite the same. The characters aren't quite the same they used to be, like a lot of things. But back in the day, Chemo was one bad dude. If you remember Chemo, not the greatest win-loss record in the world, but the aura, the tattoos, man, that guy was one scary dude. I remember he was going to fight my favorite of all time, Bas Rutten, and had to pull out at the last second, and then I think Bas Rutten fought Warpath in his final fight. Bas Rutten, just nobody could beat Bas Rutten, so Chemo did the right thing there. But that's who they based Kama loosely after. Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine, that was what Chemo was supposed to be. Anytime there's a fighter with one name, he's a bad dude. He's a bad dude, and that's what Kama is as well. So that's enough talk. Let's read the back of the package real quick, then we'll unbox it. Kama from Las Vegas, Nevada, 330 pounds, 149 kilograms, height 6'6". Career highlights, WWE Hall of Fame inductee. After melting down Undertaker's urn and crafting it into a chain, the Supreme Fighting Machine battled the Dead Man at SummerSlam 95. And I believe that was a casket match, if I remember right. So definitely an interesting gimmick. I'm glad they went with this version. As you guys probably remember, Kama, I think when he first came in, he had kind of like a white t-shirt on underneath the singlet. I'm glad they removed that. I wonder if that was to cover the tattoos because we knew him from Papa Shango. That's possible. It's possible. But anyways, let's unbox it. Let's get down to the brass tacks or the gold. There's the background, that blue background. We know it. We love it. See you later. Up high. All right, Kama comes with his chain, and he comes with two hands. The old plastic prison. There he is. He is buckled in behind. I'm kind of surprised at that. I didn't think he was going to be, but we'll take care of that real quick with the old handy-dandy scissors. I don't know why I got pink, purplish scissors down here. That's just not very fun. I need black scissors. That's what I need. I need to do something about that. Pull them out here. Whoa, rubber band holding tight. We got two extra hands. He comes. See you later. He comes with the fisted hands, and I think if you're a Supreme Fighting Machine, you should stay with fisted hands, and that's where he'll stay for me. But he does have two open hands, but he's not grappling anybody. He's punching somebody's lights out. That's the way he's going to go. But we've seen hands before. We don't need to talk about those. But what we do need to talk about is the figure. So Kama, it looks like him enough. The true effects, I never really had an issue with it until fairly recently. And some of the fan takeovers and that X-Pac one, and a few other we've seen recently. It's like, it gets the point across, but it looks like it's kind of murky. There's a little murkiness, I think, in the face. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the way it reminds me of. Just a little murky. I do like this is removable. That's very cool. Big thing of chains there. Maybe they'll reuse this for Razor Ramon one of these days. Very possibly they could. But it does come with this. I think that's a nice touch with Kama. A nice accessory piece there. I will say, though, we got a little bit of looseness in that ab crunch. I hate to see that. That's one of my pet peeves is loose limbs and stuff. Drives me a little crazy. A little issues on the paint on the Kama on the stomach. Black and white, we talk about it a lot. A very hard color to get correct 100% of the time. So there's a little bit of fading there. Nothing too terrible. The orangish red singlet looks fine to me. I don't see any issues. There's a little white overspray onto his tattoos on one of the arms. Got some scuffing on the wrist tape here. And then you got a little bit of white on the back of his head. I think I might be able to scrub that off, though. And they're missing a little bit of paint on the side of his hair there. I don't even know what you call this hairstyle. It's almost Road Warriors inspired. It's definitely different. Definitely ahead of its time. Kind of the Mr. T touch to it a little bit. A little bit of a mohawk going on there. But not terrible. I mean, this isn't a terrible figure. This is definitely one you need, especially if you're a classics collector. If you love the new generation, I guess it would be, I think you would call him part of the new generation. If you love Charles Wright's character, this definitely, long story short, this is a must-have figure. You got it. It's his first representation in the line. Not Charles Wright's first representation in the line, but all in all, Kama's first. And his first figure, collector's edition, so it's got some specialness to it. I think this is warranted to pick up. The tattoo work is good. You guys know I love big figures. You guys know I love tattoos. I love gold chains. I'm going to add to the list. Why not gold chains? I love guys in mohawks. There's a lot to love about this. I think the only negatives I have here is just a little bit of the murkiness in the face. It's not terrible. It's just not 100%. I'd say it's 91%. That's where I'm going. That's my official judgment. A few paint issues. You can't fault that because I bet if you get another one, those paint issues would be fine. It's just kind of the luck of the draw, unfortunately, the way it goes. But it's Kama. You see it. If it didn't have Kama's name on here, I'd say, oh, yeah, it's a Kama figure. You know it is, and that's what it gets the point across. It gets to know, hey, this is exactly what it pretends and says to be. So there you go. Papa Shango, we've seen him twice in the Elite line. He was in a 2-pack Target exclusive once again with the Ultimate Warrior. We saw him in the past. He was also in one of the early Elite lines. I want like Elite 17, maybe something like that. Papa Shango. And then an underrated one, the Godfather. I would not be opposed to another Godfather Elite. I'd like to have the Nation Kama first, but I would not be against another Godfather. Godfather had so many bright, colorful outfits. You could give him a big, fluffy coat. There's a lot you could do with that figure. So maybe we'll get lucky. We'll get another Godfather one of these days. Might be good for the Target's Legend line. Could be an online exclusive, possibly. A fan takeover. I mean, vote on different ones. I think there's some meat on the bone for Godfather. Even the Papa Shango, I think you could put a little bit more into him. Maybe do something with like the skull stick with the smoking skulls, maybe an effect or something. I think there's something that could be done with Papa Shango. Kama, one and done. I don't think there's any more Kama figures to get, unless they do release that Kama with the white shirt underneath the singlet. I don't know how many people would be jonesing for that one, but you never know. People are crazy out there. There might be somebody screaming out there. Maybe somebody watching this that says, oh, all the Kamas you give me, I'll take every single one. I don't know, but I like Kama. I like this one. Fits in my collection. First time in the line, exclusive. I think there really is a lot to like. Long story for me is the face just a little bit off and a few paint issues, but nothing that maybe you'll have on yours. So a solid figure, a solid collector's edition figure. I think this is one that warrants, because I don't think it would, if it was in a traditional line, it wouldn't be flying off the shelf. But where it's put here, I think it's a good move by the Mattel team. So all in all, a win here. But what say you? Let me know about Kama, your thoughts. Are you planning on picking him up? He hasn't hit the U.S. soil as far as I know yet, as far as in stores. Maybe the next month or so. So be on the lookout for him at your local Target. But tell me your thoughts on this. Did I change your mind? Are you picking him up? Are you now going to pass on him? Let me know in the comments. And of course, follow me on social media. On Twitter, at SirPaul64. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, ProWrestlingTees.com, Kyle Peterson. Support the channel, pick up a t-shirt, and that's pretty much it. So for my boy Kama, Godfather, Papa Shango, will we get the Nation one next? Stay tuned. I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.